to do so. So in a way, I suppose we are starting this episode with our daily Finland update. So red team troops continue to pour into the yellow team. At the same time, troops from the gold team enter into yellow team territory, and you can't have a war in this region without just something completely insane happening. So yeah, we have a rebellion breaking out in the yellow team because just of course there is. This is Finland, so groups and meeting up with the red team, and the red team does not stop and try to make peace with these rebel groups. They just continue into the region, as to just be expected, really. But yeah, and the yellow team is being completely annihilated, and the red team decides they're also going to send troops into the gold team, just because, I mean, this is the policy. They're going to take over it all. And as I know, the red team isn't the best with boats, but they're good enough with boats to capture the capital of Finland here. And then Finland surrenders over to the red team, and the red team next, they're fighting a much weaker country. They absolutely annihilate the gold team, who surrenders. And in the peace treaty, both of these countries are fully annexed by the red team. And this is the start of the red team's grand empire. People in this region obviously very much hate this because, well, yeah, different religion, don't really get along very well. So, yeah, it's very difficult for the red team to assimilate this, but the red team don't care. They're committing atrocities here to keep the people quiet. So, yeah, if you haven't seen that already, that's our religion map. So, yeah, the red team decides to just expand into unclaimed land, quickly taking over most of Finland, pushing up towards these Russian lakes, and even reaching the Arctic Sea, the Arctic Ocean even, which they are the first country to do that, I think. Yeah, also, the send explorers to continue up here, and just, chilling. The next thing that they do is they go down to this red team here, and they demand that, they join up with the red team, like the actual Sweden. And they accept this, except many people in this region beyond the river here don't accept this, and they're like, bro, this is our own country, you're not just doing that. So they flee to Konigsberg and take over the Memel region, and they form the Kaliningrad, Konigsberg, or Prussian state, if you will. So, yeah. And then, you would think that, alright, yeah, another country on the map, but no, the red team does not care about your existence. The red team just invade it. They don't even care if they don't want to be part of the red team. They're just going to invade it. And then, bang, full annexation. Also, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Bit of expansion. Even pushing around the Baltics. And now, Estonia is terrified of, oh my god, we're surrounded on every side, what are we going to do? And that should be fine, though. One second, I need to make this look better, because that looks horrendous. Now, the blue team is starting to fear this quite a bit, because they just thought the red team was weak, and so, yeah, they've just started putting that. I cannot speak today. They started doing naval activity in this region and lining their border with troops, as you would really. Now, we'll take a break from this and maybe go over here to the east, because, yeah, well, I can say. We have Vietnam expanding a little bit into the Cambodia region, and eventually reaching where Bangkok is IRL. Why am I speaking in text in real life? So yeah, and also we have another group popping up because yeah, this group is going to be, we'll make them brown. A brown southern Chinese group forms because I said so, and we need to take a break from the chaos that is Europe. So yep, that's Asian update, I guess. For our next event, we have just this Romanian country rapidly expanding, rapidly expanding out of here into the. I should really just stop. I'm not native to English, apparently. I am, apparently I'm not. So yeah, they annex all this land. A great step for Romania and their future, I suppose. Yeah, and next we'll do something akin to a Daily Britain update, I suppose. But yeah, groups in Yorkshire rebel away from this Welsh team and expand north. There we go. I just want to do something before we get to the good stuff. But I guess if one insists, the good stuff shall come now. The red team moves into I believe that they might even be allies, the territory of, what's his face, Norway, crossing over the rivers, which seems to be very difficult, as Norway had this place on lockdown, especially if this place on lockdown because the capital's right there. But yeah, up north, the red team's winter-equipped army. It's not winter, but you know it's always winter up here. Yeah, the winter-equipped army quickly annihilates any hope in the northern regions of Norway. Sweden's always been stronger than Norway. Norway's just been a chill country, I guess. But yeah, Norway's cut in half, and these unpopulated lands, well, obviously they are populated, but relatively unpopulated lands are taken over. And we also have all this mountainous territory being claimed, but you know, they're barely even fighting there. But in response to all this, we do have the blue team coming up and taking the capital of... No, wait, 1 second, I think we have a layer that might be a bit helpful here. Why have I not had this on the entire time? Yeah, this is Measure Caesar. But yeah, we have the blue team invading up into Norway, and the red team is like, no, 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 wait, no, no, we refuse that. No. I just need to fix that. So yeah, we actually have to work out a peace treaty here because the blue team third partied. So yeah, in the treaty we have this land being not that land. Yeah, no. Okay, sorry. With this land being taken by the blue team and the rest of all this land being taken over by the red team. My voice is gone. Yeah, so we now have very big and strong red team, and you know what happens when you're big and strong? You need more land. So what does the red team do? Well, what would anyone else do? They invade Estonia. Poor Estonia. Estonia did nothing wrong. They collapsed. They were bullied, but you know, they were good. They were trying their best to be good. Failed, of course, but tried the best. Also, official yellow team survives on the island. No. Also, why? They're just pockets of unexplored land, that's really annoying. Okay. Let me just fix this, as I say, it looks very strange, and I highly dislike it. Alright, so I fixed it, pretty much, and, yeah. This is where the fun begins. I forgot to get rid of capitals. This is almost where the fun begins. Do I make too many Star Wars references? Comment, do you want more Star Wars references? or less Star Wars references. Also, these capitals, I'm gonna have to keep them on just because somebody forgot to put major cities underneath them, so I'll need to do that in a bit. Yeah, so this is where the fun begins. So, yeah, what have I done? Yeah, so the fun begins here as, the blue team decides they've had enough. They can't have the red team invading countries anymore. Blue team is still the strongest country in the world, kind of, yes and no. So they launched their invasion into the red team, quickly taking over these mountainous regions, crossing the river, taking over this lake, and just they captured so many major cities very quickly. As all the red teams are over here, not really expecting the blue team to attack. But what is over here is the red team's navy. So yeah, they're very much struggling to make a landing in the capital of the red team. Now, where they don't have any trouble is no, but where they don't have any trouble is invading into here and even just getting groups over here to rebel and join the blue team side. And the blue team, they're doing extremely well. However, the red team, they're no slouches. They have the second strongest military in the world by like the thinnest margin ever. Like, I mean, it's so similar, it's hardly noticeable. So they recapture this major city and link back up with this lake, which is where they kept many of the boats, which means that they can move the boats down to the sea now. Yeah, and because their entire navy is here and the blue team's navy is a lot more spread out, yeah, we have this island being retaken by the red team, and the people here are sort of welcomed with open arms, because, yeah, I don't know, just reason. The blue team is starting to fund more and more rebellions across the country. Although the blue team does hate the yellow team, it's better than the red team because they really hate the red team. But yeah, also orange team rebels because of course there are. They just got invaded across Estonia as well. Even gold team rebels, and yeah. Now they go to a Norwegian rebel leader, but like the Norwegians say, "Hey, you invaded us too, so go finger yourself." I'm sorry if there's any children watching. I'm sorry if anybody's watching, to be honest. Yeah, the blue team, they're running rings around the red team. The red team is very much confused on how this could possibly be happening. They're meant to be strong and powerful. That's practically the same way. But yeah, so but the next thing we see is an event that will completely change the tide of literally, well, completely changes the tide of literally everything in this war. As rebels in the Twin Cities here decide to rebel away from the blue team. And you can tell already, this is members of the ethnic group that founded the purple team. Now we'll do a lore dump on you real quick. The blue team is very authoritarian, not nice to its people, and they were very not nice to a specific ethnic group. They made this ethnic group do every job that many people found too dangerous, which was very much, what's it called, hated by the people of this religion. And now that's why, now one of these dangerous jobs was being a scout, and these scouts were sent down here, where they decided to fund their own country away from this team. So this country is funding rebels here, not necessarily of the French religion, just of, I don't know, any ethnicity that has been oppressed. So this rebellion quickly starts gaining ground as armies from the purple team march. Okay, no, that's too small. Armies from the purple team, yeah, that works. March north and send their boats along this river, taking over the entire river, and pushing into the blue team. This is an event that the blue team did not see coming at all. They thought everybody loved them because the leader was a bit dumb. But yeah, so we see that happening, which is it's a crying shame for the blue team, isn't it? Especially when the red team has just landed in Jutland, the Jutland Peninsula, and this island is taken over by the red team. So the blue team is starting to crumble, their influence is fading, and they tend to cry out for anybody to help them. Like, I don't know. But yeah, and Carthage answers the cry for help by declaring war on the purple French team. And in response, Italy declares war on Carthage. So I'm going to add a new layer just to make things understandably more understandable. Added some alliances here just to make sense of it. In the square team, we have the red team. Well, I should really call them by what country they are. We have Sweden, France, and Rome. And in the star team, it's just Germania and Carthage. But like this is the first and third strongest country in the world. So they're gonna probably dominate. Maybe not. But yeah, so the first thing we see happening is Carthaginian troops entering into Roman. No, Carthaginian troops entering into Roman. I really have some issues with this. What on earth? What the fuck? We have, okay, we go. We have this land being taken over by Carthaginian forces quickly until Rome can organise themselves a defence against against Carthage. I keep mind blanking. I'm very sorry, guys. But yeah, I mean, now France is having to fight a naval battle with these guys as well as a regular battle with these guys. But I mean, these rebels are gaining a lot of ground against the blue team, and the blue team is just they're scrambling now. They can't fund these rebellions anymore, so the rebellions get annihilated by the red team, and even their armies in the red team are being heavily pushed back as they can't hold on any longer. The red team makes a landing in northern Denmark, takes over the little thing there, and continues their push back into this region. And then, why is there a capital? Oh, that's the Norwegian capital. Yeah, so we have events taking place here that are horrifically. Every single person here who supported the blue team. There was a lot of ethno-red team people and ethno-Norwegian people, not even ethno, but yeah, people who came from Sweden originally here. However, what we do see is because so many people were killed. Okay, that didn't work. Because so many people were killed, the religion starts shrinking as they are completely kicked out of the Scandinavian peninsula, and the atrocities committed here are agreed to never be spoken of again by anybody in the world. So generations down the line will never know what happened to the people here. Even people from the blue team have been sworn they never will speak of this again. Unless maybe it happens again, it will never be spoken of. It was a truly tragic event in the history of the world so far. And it leads the blue team to be in such shock and such disarray. The leader of the blue team stabs himself through the heart. which means that the blue team, without any orders from their leader, quickly falls back. They don't surrender yet because they haven't set up a government, which leads the red team to take over all of Denmark, continue into Germanian territory, until they finally set up a civilian government and the blue team surrenders to, not that much, and the blue team surrenders over to the red team, who has just committed mass atrocities in their country. Ones that have never been seen on such a scale in the history of the world so far. The allies of the red team did not know that this happened. Only the red and blue team have any information of this. No satellite to show images of what happened. Just the words of the people who have been threatened to keep their mouths shut. So people see this as the blue team simply being weak. But only the blue and red team know what actually happened here. And because the blue team is now seen as weak, many countries will now join the side of the square team. Because in this time, it's not about true allegiance. Being a winner's more fun. Plus, Carthage should not be on Iberia. So these three countries join... join the war against Carthage. And Carthage is completely kicked out of Rome. Roman troops enter into the area. And this mint team, I have no idea why they exist. They just do. They take over that. It's like my storytelling, guys. I like my storytelling. Yeah, and the capital of Carthage is captured by Roman forces. And Carthage is like, you know, we'll be fine. We'll be right, we're gonna keep fighting. Our best allies just died, but we're stronger than all these countries around us. Until French, Basque, Portuguese, and even this guy forces start to enter into the European portion of Carthage, and then it's realised Carthage is well and truly screwed. So they decide to surrender over to the Romans. Where have I seen this before? But yeah, and I'm gonna draw up a page street now. So I think I'm gonna be a long time. Alright, so this is page street here. We have the Rome taking over the rest of the Italian peninsula, well, Sicily, part of Africa, and any parts of Carthage that weren't in Africa were taken over, like split by the purple and cyan, dark cyan team here. So yeah, that's what happened here. And if we just go a bit up north, we can see the ethnic groups that rebelled here being they're being released. Blue team being reduced to the Dutch area as well as South Germany, and say hello to the red team, this giant red team. Yeah, so I think that's all I'm going to do for this video, and with all that said, goodbye.